Okay, somebody asked how I was going to do this foundation for this construction. And I'm doing it similar to the old method that was used in Scandinavian countries and a lot of European countries too. Anywhere where you're building with a wood foundation, what they used to do is dig a hole, bury a rock, a flat rock. Then you would use a post. Well, you'd have to scrape all the bark off it. This wouldn't work like this, but then the post would sit on top of that rock, and then you would bury it, but this would be all coated with pine tar. You'd heat the pine tar up, smear it on the post, and then bury it with the dirt. And the trick too is to get it so, you don't want it to be a cup-shaped rock. You don't want it to hold water. It's got to be able to drain the water off. Well, I can't do it that way. I don't have the rocks, particularly big flat rocks. This is unusual. Any rocks, well, there's really no rocks in this area, and the rocks in the area south of us where the glacier actually dropped them, they were all brought in by the glacier, so they've been tumbled and ground, so they're almost always round or kind of egg-shaped. You don't often run into flat rocks. So instead of doing it that way, I'm going to actually dig down and pour a pad of cement. And then use these wooden pillars on top. And now the bottom logs will be sitting on these. And I don't know, I'll have to look and see if it shows up. Not well enough. Okay, these are a foot square of very solid oak, and it's all heartwood. This comes out of, there's a chunk of the log there, and I counted the rings on that, and there's over 150, so it's an old piece of wood. And I've cut 10 of these that are 1 foot square on top. Jake, where are you? Stick around. Okay, you can see I've got a line here. Now let's say that this piece would go in that corner over there. Now the side log will be laying on here, but I will have to knock this down 6 inches. That way the log going the other direction will be sitting 6 inches higher. You can see how they're sitting now. Now that top log this top log will be knocked 6 inches down. These are 1 foot. And I've flattened out the bottom. Right now it's just sitting on these 1 foot stumps. Jake, stick around here. You saw a deer a little while ago. We really wanted to go over there and look. But like I say, this will drop down 6 inches, so that piece that goes underneath, 6 inches will be held here. Then that corner there will be another 6 inches up, will hold this log. And this will be notched in. Cooler, Jake. You gotta stick around. But that's why these are flattened on the bottom. Otherwise, normally they'll just be like this, both top and bottom. But that way I'm jumping a foot each time I put a log on. But these first bottom logs have got to be staggered like that. And that's where the foundation has to make that step. But then, the part of the stump, or the pillar there, that will be higher that will line up to use for where the floor joists go, especially the two end ones. But I will be doing 4 on each side, and there'll be 3 on each end. So I'll be doing that, and then, all the way across, really. But that's what's going to hold it up, is those 10 sunk into the ground on a pad of cement. But I thought I'd explain that before I get much further into this, but I've been cutting them. And I've got a few of them spread around here, but that's what they look like now. I'll scrape off them extra bark, and I've cut them kind of. What I've done is I've made a foot square on top, because that's what matters. For the first 6 inches matters. But then I've actually flared them out a little bit to get an even bigger base. And like I said, then I'll pour a big slab of concrete, or not slab, but just a kind of a pad that they will sit on. And that way it'll be deep enough down in the clay. And then these will be pine tarred up to here. And I won't pour cement over the height. It's going to be a flat pad. Because like I say, I don't want any dish shape to it. It's got to be so that it drains the water off, to make them last. Because that way they will last. Some of them buildings done that way have lasted 1,000 years. So I think it should be long enough. I think long term, but 1,000 years should probably do it.